Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to Book Bar and welcome to another vlog. This vlog is going to be me reading sports romances that are the big four sports. So in the United States, there are four main sports that people watch. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. You could put soccer in there, but I feel like not in the United States. It's not as big of a sport. And these sports might not be popular in other countries, but they're popular here. And they're popular in my life. So I wanted to do an experiment where I read one book from each of those sports. And then also in a follow-up vlog, reading books that are not those sports, but they are still sports romances, to see if my knowledge of the sport hinders my enjoyment of a book. Because there have been times I've read a book and I'm like, this is a 5-star book, this is a 5-star book. And then there's like one thing that happens where the sports knowledge is off and it completely throws everything and it makes me not like the book anymore. And like it lowers my rating because I'm like, you couldn't do the research, the basic research to know that this rule is what it is. Why are you writing a book about it? So I wanted to know if I wanted to see, because obviously I don't know as much, and baseball and football are like sports that I watch all of the time. They are my favorite. I know the most about those rules. Basketball and hockey I don't know as much about. I don't know like the rules going from college to pros, from high school to pro. I don't know those quite as much as I do with football and baseball. And so I want to see how much my knowledge of a sport hinders or affects my enjoyment. Because also when I'm reading like other non-baseball or one that's not one of the core four sports, I feel like I don't care as much about the sport aspect as I do about like the romance. But sometimes when I'm reading like a baseball romance, I want all of the baseball. So I just want to see how, like I just thought it'd be fun to see how my enjoyment of a sport on its own affects my enjoyment of a book following a player of that sport. So yeah, stay tuned to see. I think I'm for sure gonna read, like I said, I'm gonna read one from each sport. I don't know what I'm gonna read yet. I think for sure I'm gonna read The Problem with Players by Brittainy Cherry. But after that, I couldn't tell you what I'm gonna read. I have no plans, no ideas, just going off vibes. So yeah, stay tuned to see what I read and my thoughts and if my enjoyment of the sport affects anything, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good afternoon. I am 25% of the way through The Problem with Players by Brittainy Cherry, and so far, the hero and the heroine don't even really like each other. Nathan and Avery, and Avery is engaged to someone else, and Nathan is her ex from like high school, and Nathan went off to play in Major League Baseball, and he broke up with Avery before he left, and now he is back, and Avery is the head coach of the football team at the high school, but she is demoted because of Nathan until he decides he's going to just let her be the head coach and he'll be the assistant. So yeah, it's very, I would say, minimal baseball so far, because they're coaches, not actual players, which is fine. But yeah, so I would say my knowledge of baseball is not affecting my enjoyment of it because nothing has been overly, and it's high school, so like the rules in high school baseball are a little different than they would be in the pros. So yeah, we will see how that continues, but I'm excited to continue, and that is what I'm gonna go do. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good afternoon. I have finished or gotten to 50% of The Problem with Players by Brittainy Cherry, and this book is so good. So obviously in the last update, like in the first 25%, Avery was preparing for a wedding, and something happened obviously that led to her not getting married, and Nathan stepped in and saved her, rescued her, and helped her out, and you know, he's still doing that. So it's really cute. Forced proximity and, you know, trying to deny feelings for each other, which never goes well. So yeah, I'm gonna go so I can continue listening, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good evening, afternoon. I am 75% of the way through The Problem with Players by Brittainy Cherry, and so good. I'm loving it. so much. Avery and Nathan have like talked about things. Nathan took care of Avery when she was having a depressive episode, and it was adorable. And he told her like, it's okay, I've been through it, like it's good, I'm just gonna hold you, I'm gonna carry you, I'm gonna do it. It was so sweet. And there was a moment where Wesley walked in on Avery and Nathan kissing. It was after their first kiss, and he was like, oh, you moved right on, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, what do we have in common? What do you know about me? Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, then Nathan answered all the questions that she had asked Wesley. So cute. Loved it. I'm loving it so much. And I'm excited to continue, which is what I'm going to go do. And I'll talk to you all when I get to the end. Hello. Good morning. I have finished The Problem with Players by Brittainy Cherry. And I'm going to open my next little gift, and it is Read a Romance written by a person whose ethnicity is different than yours. Brittainy Cherry is a Black author, so it is two cute little cards. Cute. All right. So yeah, but yeah, I finished and I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. Fantastic. I really enjoyed it. The third act, breakup, conflict, situation broke my heart, but it made sense. And it was necessary for both characters' growth, especially one who needed that little bit of a push. But yeah, I'm gonna go because I need to finish getting ready for the day. And yeah, I definitely think it's one that you should pick up and read, and hopefully we'll love it just as much as I did. And I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello. Good evening. I am happy my makeup looks okay. I was just crying. Watched Pat Sajak's last episode of Wheel of Fortune, and I'm not like an avid Wheel of Fortune watcher, but I have watched it on and off pretty much my whole life. So I had to watch this episode, and it did make me cry. But yeah, I am at a weird angle because I felt like it. I am 25% of the way through Boarded Hearts by Ruth Stilling, I think is how you say the last name. This follows Felicity and John. And Felicity at the beginning is married, and she's the mother of, I believe they're twins, older, like they're both 16 at the beginning of the book, children. And she's married, and her husband is like, and they lived in England, and her husband's like, we're moving to Seattle. And she's like, I don't want to go to Seattle. But she goes anyways because her family's going. So she goes. And there she finally, so then there's a 2-year time jump. And now she is divorcing her husband because she has realized her worth. And she actually really enjoys Seattle and is going to stay while her ex-husband and daughter go back to England. But her son is staying also. And go back to my regular angle because that was hurting my arm. And her son loves hockey. And so she gets him hockey season tickets for his birthday. And when she's going to pick up the tickets, she runs in, literally runs into John. And he is a hockey player, captain of the team. And he is enamored with her immediately. And yeah, it's cute so far. He's kind of a playboy, reformed playboy. And he's just super interested in her. But she saw some stuff online, the last 25%, and was none too happy about it. So, yeah, I'm excited to continue. There is a slight age gap. She is 39, he's 34, so only 5 years. So not an age gap. I don't count it as an age gap romance. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to continue. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good afternoon. I am 50% of the way through Boarded Hearts by Ruth Stilling, and I am loving it so much. So basically, John was not giving up on Felicity. He was like, no. I'm not gonna let my past mess with your brain. And I'm not gonna let your past mess with your brain. And it's just, so good. So good. And when her ex-husband came back, love it. But yeah, I am don't have a ton to say because I want you all to experience it yourself. I will say the hockey, I mean, there has been a decent amount of hockey in it, so not terrible, but it plays a very small role, which is fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go and continue, and I'll talk to you all when I get to the end. Hello, good evening. I am 75% of the way through Aborted Hearts by Ruth Stilling, and I am not as in love with it as I was the first 50%, but I'm still having a really good time with it. I just feel like I'm unsure of the timeline, and also, like, if I'm unsure of the timeline, I'm either unsure of the timeline or they're acting like they've known each other for years or months, and really it's been like a couple days, weeks, whatever. Like, he's like, oh, I've chased you for so long. But even if, like, the hockey season starts in October, they're not even at Christmas yet. So even if they met, like, and it sounds like they met like the day before, and hockey season starts early October, so like October 3rd. Let's say, okay, let's just call it, we'll say October 15th is when hockey season starts. And that's only 2 months before Christmas, 2 months and 10 days before Christmas. They're not even at Christmas yet. So he says he's been chasing her for months. I guess, yeah, technically 2 months is months, but also you didn't, I don't know. I'm just, think it's a little over the top. And like, I don't know. But I am still enjoying it, and I definitely think it's a good one and worth the read. But yeah, I am going to go so I can continue reading, and I'll talk to you all when I get to the end. Hello, good evening. I have finished Aborted Hearts by Ruth Stilling, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. There was just some things about it that, like, I didn't absolutely love, but I am excited for the next book and the 3rd book, because the 3rd book she's already announced is a couple that we kind of meet in this one. And yeah, I just felt like there were just some things about this that were like a little too over the top and possessive on John's part, but I still give it 4 stars. I still really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it. Especially if you're wanting a single mom romance where the kids aren't super prevalent in the story because they are older. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And I think the amount of hockey in it was not very high. Like, actually, no, it was pretty high. She goes to quite a few games. So I'd say there's probably a decent amount of hockey. And my knowledge of hockey did not hinder anything in this. I did kind of go on a rant at one point about like timelines, but that had less to do with the hockey and more to just do with the timeline. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna go, and I'll talk to you all when I have read 25% of my next book. Hello, good evening. I am 25% of the way through The Assist by Curto, and it's cute so far. So if this follows Dallas and Maven, and Dallas is a single dad football player, and he is struggling to find a nanny, as most sports romance single dad nanny are, and he ends up basically stumbling upon Maven, and she has started working for them, and they've had some moments, but she also works for the football team that he plays for, so lots of forced proximity. But it's good so far. I'm enjoying it. Nothing crazy to say, but yeah, that is all I have for now. I'm gonna go so I can continue reading, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, I am 50% of the way through Behind the Camera by Curto, and I'm loving it. Like, it is so cute so far. So Dallas and Maven are now living together because she was driving like hours every day to take care of June. And so Dallas was like, well, I have an extra room, why don't you just come stay here? So she does. And they have this game that they play where they look at each other and they flirt, but there's no touching. But the feeling some touching is coming. And yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I'm really enjoying it. And I am excited to continue, which is what I'm going to do. And I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good afternoon. I am 74% of the way through Behind the Camera by Curto, and I am having a good time with it. I'm really enjoying it. They are fully, Maven and Dallas are fully having a secret relationship. They're keeping it a secret from everyone, including his daughter, because they just, she's 4. They don't trust that she won't blab it. His 2 best friends do know, and I think that his coach is catching on that there might be a little bit more to their relationship than just nanny and employer. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. But I'm having a really good time. I'm really enjoying it. June is adorable. They both love praise, which is always fun. And yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm going to go and continue reading, and I'll talk to you all when I get to the end. Hello, everybody. I have finished Behind the Camera by Curto, and 5 stars. I absolutely adored Dallas and Maven. There was really nothing wrong with them. And, I love a good forbidden romance. And, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I felt like my knowledge of football was not hindered at all. Did not hinder my enjoyment at all. Because I don't know, they said there was a rule where, 2 people on a team, that worked for a team couldn't fraternize, which I could see being possible. But I could also see it not being possible. But I don't know, the inner workings of, rules like that. Because it's not on the field. So, but, the way that they went through the playoffs and, the end of the season and all of that stuff and, winning getting to the Super Bowl, that all made sense and it all worked. I don't know about the locker room scene, if that would be possible. But, again, don't really know that side of it. So, yeah, it did not really hinder my enjoyment. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. Probably my favorite, I don't know, but The Problem with Players was amazing, though, too. So, yeah. My next book I will be reading is basketball, but romance, which, again, basketball is kind of like hockey, where I know enough, but I don't know, quite as much as I do with, baseball and football. So, yeah, I'm going to go and start my next book, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good afternoon. I am 25% of the way through His Best Shot by Nichole, and this follows Amani and Julius. And Amani is visiting her best friend in LA, and she really wants to meet a basketball player so she can get out of her small town. And so she convinces her best friend's husband plays for the basketball team in LA. I don't know if it's a spin-off series or what, because this is book 1. So, moving on. But so she's there, and she goes out to a nightclub, and there she meets Julius, who does not play for her best friend's husband's team. He plays for the team that her best friend's husband just lost to. And yeah, she goes home with him. So it's one night stand that I'm sure is going to lead to more. And they've talked one time because he found her through a private investigator. And yeah, it's cute so far. It's very over the top, but that's okay. And yeah, it's short, so I should finish it pretty quick, but I'm gonna go so that I can continue reading, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, good evening. I am 50% of the way through His Best Shot by Nichole, and I don't know, I'm not loving it. It's not bad, but I think, honestly, my knowledge of basketball is hindering my enjoyment of this a little bit, because I was having a good time. I was enjoying it. I know in basketball, like, there's times when you have, like, 2 or 3 days off. So he, like, took one of his days and, like, went and visited her, which was all great, all cute, adorable. He, like, flew her out to him to watch a game. But now, like, he's, like, on, like, a 2-game losing streak. Like he hasn't been performing his best for the last 2 games. And it's, like, all up in arms. Like, the world is ending because homeboy is not performing well. I've watched plenty of basketball in my life. I've seen games where Steph Curry, Klay Thompson struggle their butts off. LeBron James struggles his butt off. But it's never like, oh, he's got the girl now. He sucks. Like, I don't understand that part of it. So, I am struggling with that, which is, like, hindering my enjoyment a little bit. But Amani and Julius are adorable, and she's like, I'm here. I want to help you. Like, how are we going to make this better? But yeah, so I'm going to go and continue reading, and hopefully this whole curse thing is fixed soon because it's bugging me. I will talk to you all in the next one. I'm sad to report that I am DNFing his best shot. I was having all sorts of issues with the basketball portion of it. And then, like, the heroine was, like, bound and determined to stay away from the hero. Like, I don't want to be with you. Like, avoiding him. Like, they were dating. They were in a relationship. And she, like, goes on a vacation and without telling him because she doesn't want to distract him from the last, like, week of the season. And then, like, they meet up in Miami and they're hooking up and she goes, make love to me. Like, you were just saying you might not even give him past tonight. Like, I'm just done. I'm done. I can't. I hate that, like, type of heroine where it's like, well, that, like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's just, no. It's a no for me. I made it 61%. Like, this is the latest I've DNF'd a book in a really long time. But I just can't put myself through it. I can't do it. I keep falling asleep reading it. I keep, like, doing absolutely anything I can to avoid picking it up. Like, I can't do it. It's pissing me off. So, yeah. Not a great book to end this on, but I will come back with a full wrap-up and, like, my thoughts and if my knowledge of the sport really did, like, hinder anything. So, yeah, I'm going to go. And I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, I'm here to close out my sports romance reading vlog. This was a varying success vlog. Obviously, I read the 4, like, big sports that I know the most about. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. And so the baseball romance was The Problem with Players by Brittainy Cherry. I ended up giving this 5 stars. The baseball aspect was kind of low. They were coaches. They were co-coaches on a high school baseball team. So the rules in high school baseball are a little different than professional baseball. So I felt like my enjoyment of the sport my knowledge of the sport did not hinder my enjoyment at all. Because I don't really know high school baseball rules. It's been a while since I've been in high school. And yeah, things are different than in the pros. I do know that. So, like, they play less innings, like, things are different. So I definitely don't think my knowledge hindered it. I would have to probably read, like, a professional baseball romance to really see, but it was still a baseball romance because he was a former professional baseball player. And, like, there were things that he did that I was like, I could see a professional baseball player doing that. So it made sense. Then I read Boarded Hearts by Ruth Stilling. Now, hockey, I know less of than I know baseball. Baseball and football, I know tons. Hockey and basketball, not as much, especially hockey. I feel like I never really grasped the rules of hockey quite as much, even when I was a big, avid hockey fan and watched it, like, every day. But this follows, I can't remember their names, it doesn't matter, but it's older woman, younger man, kind of, like, it's like a 5-year age gap, so it's really not that big, and they, like, run into each other. It's very, like, over-the-top possessive alpha, kind of, at times, and I didn't love that, but I felt like my knowledge of hockey didn't really hinder anything, although I did kind of have, like, a little bit of a rant, so, yeah. Then I read Behind the Camera, which had quite a bit of football. But it was all fine. Like, my knowledge of football did not hinder anything because, again, like I said, I don't know, like, the rules of, like, the teams. I just know the rules on the field. And none of that was messed up, or didn't make any sense. And then his best shot, I DNF'd. So I had 2 5 stars, a 4 star, and a DNF. I hate DNFing romances by authors that are of a different ethnicity than me, especially like Black love romances, because I feel like they're very underrepresented, especially by me. Like I feel like I need to do better. But and it wasn't like I couldn't see myself as like either of the main characters. I couldn't, but the heroine was insufferable. Like she was exhausting, and I just did not have the mental energy to read about her. And also, like, I felt like the basketball was a little off, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that is it. I will be doing this vlog again, I think in August, where I read 4 sports that I don't really know much about. I haven't decided if I want to put soccer in there or not, because I really don't know a lot about soccer, but it is a very popular sport. So yeah, I am gonna go. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me some sort of sports ball. Preferably a baseball, basketball, football, or a hockey puck, but I understand if you want to leave me any sports ball. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. I'll talk to you in the next one.